Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is July 29th, 2024. It's been a little while here, but we are back. The Defenders of Independent Professional Wrestling, the Squared Circle. We're restructuring here a little bit. Matt DeCourt is stepping aside for the time being, at least. And for now, moving forward, we have with us Pro Wrestling Wire's Uncle Otis. We are going to be working together, the Squared Circle and Pro Wrestling Wire, to benefit both our broadcasts. So
Yes.
Never mind that Endeavor thing with the UFC and WWE. I think this is way bigger.
Oh, we're going to blow the roof off once we get it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like my good friend Jason said here, Hollywood Jay, Matt has stepped away for a little bit, but he has other endeavors he's working on, and he'll probably pop in every now and again and visit or maybe even co-host a show with Jason again. We're going to start collaborating a little bit. ProWrestlingWire.com. We too, like Jason, we do a podcast, and we also help in the pushing or marketing of the independent wrestling scene, and that's what it's all about, right?
That's right.
To get some of these players in the game.
You guys are a podcast. I'm more like a webcast, more YouTube.
We're covering all bases, right?
Right. You know what? But hey.
And so it's going to work out real well. So we just basically ask that you bear with us as we work out the kinks and iron a few wrinkles out. And it looks like it could be a good marriage for the time being.
Absolutely.
So, and if I may, I'd like to give a shout out to my partner at ProWrestlingWire.com, Rick Del Santo, who is he'll be popping in now and then with Jason and co-hosting also, I'm sure. He's home recovering from a recent surgery, so a shout out to him. Lots of love to you, brother. We're thinking about you and hope you're back on your feet real soon and recovering to 100% because we miss you.
Absolutely. And I also done this show out here out of North Haven, NHTV, and ETV over the last decade or so, floated around. ETV lost one of their famed producers in Mike Strito, unfortunately, Saturday evening. So my thoughts and prayers go out to ETV and his family and friends. Last time I saw Mike was at the Wells Fargo in East Haven. My mom just moved back into town, and we talked with him for a few minutes. And I've known him over the years. He was a great drummer, great TV producer. So he's going to be sadly missed. So I thought I'd express my condolences.
I didn't know him, unfortunately, but my condolences to his loved ones, his family and friends, and to you for losing somebody that you knew very well. So
yeah. But on a brighter note,
yes, a brighter note.
It is the summertime. Independent scene tends to die off a little bit in the summer as people like to go on vacation.
Yeah.
And wrestlers like to go on vacation, which is understandable. It's a beautiful time of year. But managed to make it to a few events. There was a PAPW recently, and
we've actually you and I have both went to the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling event that they have at the Armada Brewery. We went to number 7, and we'll talk about the next one that's coming up a little bit, but we don't have anything to show you for that because they're still working on matches, but it will be in a couple of weeks, so we'll keep an eyeball out for that. But in the time being, we have it's going to be a fun show today because we do have kinks to work out and stuff. We thought it would be nice if we shared some video with the folks at home.
Absolutely.
So that they can enjoy some of the matches that we got to see.
Right.
So
we have PAPW matches. I do have a Blitzkrieg match in there, and I worked rather quickly because yesterday, and my apologies to the management of Lit. I don't really get the chance to get up there as often as I'd like to, due to business reasons. But I did manage. They did run a show yesterday at Cafe Uno in Thomaston. I was able to make it up there, and we do have a match ready, which could possibly show at the end, time permitting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I guess we've kind of covered a few things that we wanted to cover about Rick and your friend Mike and the working together of
Right.
Squared Circle and ProWrestlingWire.com.
Now, refresh me a little bit on these potato interviews you do.
Okay. Basically, what I'm working on, and it's actually since the last time that I had been on the show with you and Matt, I had discussed how I was in the process of trying to do old school interviews, because a lot of the independents don't seem to have that that person that is on the sidelines waiting to find out from either a wrestler on his way into a match how he feels about what he's about to experience, and maybe get some strategy, out of him or something to see how he's going to play the game, and also possibly do some exit interviews, which we have one exit interview we'll show after one of the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling matches that we're going to show. And what I'm doing with these since then, I've done now 37 of them. So it's really starting to build up to something. I'm going to be probably doing some. I'm going to a New Age Wrestling show in August, and the promoter, the owner of that promotion, said that he wants me to do some potatoes up there. So it should be fun. He has several wrestlers that I'm familiar with, that I've had the pleasure of watching them work, and I basically want to dive into their head a little. It's really not even interviews. It's just basically me saying to them, spill the beans. What is it that's on your mind? And let them vent to me, so to speak. Kind of like they used to do to Mean Gene or Gordon Soley or those guys.
Right. It's a good way for the wrestlers to be able to express themselves after a match.
Right, because sometimes they're frustrated, as you'll see in an interview that we're going to show in a little bit with Frosty, Ryan Frost. So if we're ready and if the man in the control room is set, I guess we can get underway maybe with...
We could. Whenever the gentleman in back is ready. We are ready. We can do this.
Okay, I believe, this first match.
Thanks for coming out tonight.
You and I were both at this one.
We were both in attendance. This is the PAPW women's title match, which took place at the Bash at the Brewery back, I believe, on July 13th.
Yes.
Right. This is the current champion right now. Unfortunately,
Daje Simone.
Daje Simone having to relinquish the belt.
And then there's Skylar on the right in the blue. I guess we call that a singlet.
Right.
And in the camo-colored pants or the green pants, Olive, is Killa J. She's kind of new on the scene. And all three of these women, I believe, are products of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling's. From Paul Roma and Mario Mancini.
Right,
so you know that these women, they've got something to prove to each other. So looks like there's a little bit of
right. Well, this is Daje Simone explaining to the crowd that due to injury, I believe that you will not be able to defend the belt. So this is going to end up being a one-on-one match to crown a new PAPW Women's Champion.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see this whole match because I was setting up in the back. I was running about 4 or 5
Ladies and gentlemen, one
potatoes
more
that
time
evening.
for Tajay Simone.
And there's Talking Tommy
Ladies and
on the
gentlemen,
mic.
this match between Skylar and
He
Killer JB for the
is
vacant
fantastic
WWE Women's
as the
Championship.
MC.
Absolutely. When Matt DeCourt can't make it, they usually have Talking Tommy doing the ring announcing.
Yeah, we got to admit that 2 of the best guys in the business. They absolutely are. Now, Skylar, I watch Skylar train. She is tough.
Mm-hmm.
She is really tough. We actually had an interview with Skylar on Pro Wrestling Wire on our podcast probably about close to, it might have been a month ago. We do them usually on Sundays, and that's when we had her on. And she was really, it was kind of neat to find out that she got involved in wrestling kind of over the course of COVID, because she didn't know what to do. She wanted to get out and do something different, and I guess she had been a wrestling fan previous to that.
Right.
And she had kind of gotten away from it for a while, and then went back into watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know her outside of the wrestling business. She's a great person.
Oh yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very, you know.
Yeah.
And
And-
I'm very proud of her and everything that she's accomplished so far in her short career.
Yeah.
Right.
She's definitely, she has grown so much in the ring as far as her ring ability. Because when you're starting out, you're still learning things like ring awareness and
Right.
and stuff like that. And these 2 here now, Killer J, she's like I said, she's new
Right.
to the game, but she seems to be holding her own pretty good. I know she's great when she's in the training center. She works hard. She really works hard. So
She's got something to prove as well.
yeah, well, definitely being a rookie in
Right.
this game, she's definitely got a lot to prove. So I'm sure she's given it her all here. And folks, if you've never been to a Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling event at the Armada Brewery, it is a phenomenal place to have an event like this.
It's a big parking lot.
Yeah, it's a parking lot. They set up picnic tables. They have like 7 or 8 picnic tables. You could bring in lawn chairs. There's on-street parking. If you get there early enough, you can get there and park right outside the gate entrance. If not, right across the street is the parking lot itself.
Right.
And so it's not a far walk.
It's a brewery, so they have plenty of
beer. Yep.
beer, and a food truck.
Yep, and the food truck that has been there at the past couple events has the best wings, I heard, or something like that, the best chicken wings. I know their burgers were fantastic because I had one 2 events ago. But, yeah, and like you said, there's the beer, restrooms right inside. I mean, it's a great place to have an event. And
Nothing like a nice summer night,
yes.
and you're
yes.
out there enjoying yourself, watching pro wrestling.
And because it's close to the water, in a sense, it's like just on the other side of the Q Bridge, on River Street in New Haven, Fairhaven.
You get somewhat of a breeze.
Yeah, you
Right.
get a little bit of a breeze, and they usually hold the events there. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling holds the events here during the summertime, because the training center where they like to hold their events the rest of the year gets a little too hot in the summer. So this is perfect, Well, here we see.
It seems like Skylar's getting a little frustrated, but that's the Killer J's testament.
Yeah, I that's exactly
Not
right.
willing
Yeah,
to give up.
and I think that maybe that she's didn't expect to get that much from Killer J,
Right.
and like that. Now look at that face plant, huh? That was beautiful. Took her right to the mat.
Thought it would be a lot easier to pick off Killer J than it actually was.
Almost got a 3 count. And there's that's referee Jordan Major. He does a lot of he's actually all over the place now. You see him doing a lot of events. Ref Major there is fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. I think he was the only referee they had.
That night, I
That
believe
night,
you're
yeah.
correct. Yeah, he really earned his dollars that night.
Right, and that's very difficult to have one referee for the whole event when you usually have 2 or 3. And for him to be out there, tough to get out.
7 matches, I think, that night. So
Oh, yeah.
he really was working hard. And I'm sure that in the ring, when you're running around from pillar to post like that, you get sweaty and hot, and
Right. It's probably the most difficult job in the whole wrestling match is the referee's job.
more than likely, yeah, absolutely. Oh, right into that middle turnbuckle. She's going to be pulling the vinyl out of her teeth for a week after that one. And 2, okay.
All right. We'll just let the video
I'm
speak
sorry
for
I
itself.
missed most of this. This has really turned out to be a good match.
It is. It's all professionally filmed by yours truly.
I have a tough time. When you go to a wrestling event, you kind of have your favorites or who you pick, who you think you want to have win. And I couldn't choose on this one if I had to, because both of these women, I give them their accolades.
Right.
They're fantastic at what they do. They're getting better every day. Killa J holding her own. Whoa, okay, so Skylar.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Skylar,
and
I believe, is victorious here.
Yes, yep,
Yes.
here comes the belt. Talking
comes the
Tommy
belt.
brought it in.
Yeah,
And
and that will be her second reign as PAPW Women's Champion.
now she started with the Battle Club
Right, that's right.
back when she started out with Chris Battle.
Seems like that was a half a century ago, but it was only a few years back.
I don't even think it was a few years back, was it? Maybe only 2?
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
That's about
3,
it,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow, good for her. Congratulations. Yeah.
She's come a long way, certainly.
Yeah, she deserves it.
And we're back.
That
Once
was
again.
good. Oh, I enjoyed that. I'm glad. I appreciate you bringing that in to show, because now I got to see it.
Right.
I missed out so much that night. That's the one thing about doing the potatoes is, I miss out on all the action. Because I try to be
You try
somewhere.
to be in back,
Yeah,
and you can't really see the ring.
Yeah. Plus, this is all very new to me. And I get a little nervous still. I get the jitters. If I'm doing it when all the people are watching me. So if they set me somewhere off in the back, like, well, you saw where I was because you came and visited me at
Of
the end of
course,
the night.
right.
So that was, but I have fun, because I have so much respect for these men and women that battle in the ring. They're just such great talents, and it's really cool to watch them in the independents, because this is the stomping ground. This is where they wet their feet. This is where they learn the ropes, so to speak,
Right.
without sounding
and you'd
corny.
be surprised who you run into at an independent wrestling event, and you fast forward a few years and you're watching Raw or SmackDown
And,
or AEW, and there they are.
Yeah, well, you would hope anyway, and then you could say, I remember when,
Right.
and that's what's really cool. So, I believe, we have another match. You might want to check with the gentleman in the control room about the next match. I believe is also a Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling
We
match.
have the next PAPW match up next, or we do.
We do,
And
okay.
this is where you have your potato afterwards, I believe.
Yeah, this one here is with Ryan Frost against the Red Devil Mooch. Unfortunately, I had did several interviews that I had wanted to bring here today. that led up to the match because I had interviewed Mooch at PAPW. Well, the first one I did, he had me drive out to an undisclosed location because he basically said, I don't like people. I don't want to be around anybody. If you want to interview me, you come see me where I
Wow.
want you to come and see me. So I hopped in my car and I drove a few towns south. I met up with him and we did an interview, and he basically said to Ryan Frost, that belt's coming home with me. So I had gone to a Tetsu show up in, it wasn't in Bristol. It was the one that they did. It was in a different venue, not at the Boys and Girls Club. And I want to say that it was near the Mass border. I apologize, folks, that I can't remember the town that it was in. But, you know, that's what happens when you get old. You forget things like, you know, okay, I got my wedding band on, so at least I'm not in trouble for that.
Right.
But I had met with Ryan Frost, and he said to me, he had seen my interview with Mooch, and if Mooch wants to wrestle, he will wrestle him. Mooch was looking for a fight, but he said, I will wrestle you.
But not fight.
Well, he wanted to basically, you know, no matter how you look at it, a wrestling match turns out to be a fight, especially when you get
9 times out
two
of 10.
big guys like that.
Right.
And they just ended up going back and forth with their interviews, and I ended up doing I did 3 interviews with them. I did Mooch, Frosty, and then Mooch had something else to say. I caught him, well, he caught me. I was in the parking lot at Paradise Alley, and I was getting ready to leave. I packed up my stuff, and I was basically, you know, I had my microphone, and I was just signing off kind of thing, and he came up behind me in the parking lot. He had his gear on his shoulder, and he was like, oh, Otis, here you are. Well, good, because I got something to say now to Frosty. And he said, you want to wrestle? I'll wrestle you. That's why I'm here. I'm dusting off my wrestling boots kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that match, I unfortunately didn't get to check that out either because I was in the back waiting for them when they were done. And I had taken 2 interviews with them, one with Mooch. I won't tell you, you know, the end of the match. I'll just tell you that I had, you know, I had interviewed Mooch on the outcome, and then Frosty came up shortly after, and he went ahead and he, you know, graced me with his presence for a quick minute. So we're going to show the match.
Yes, whenever we're ready to here we go. Here we go. This is the U.S. Championship match at PAPW Bash at the Brewery back on July 13th. This is Ryan Frost versus Mooch. Now it's getting a little darker. I do apologize for that light being in the way, unfortunately. But we can still see the competitors just as well. Ryan Frost, everywhere I go, he shows up pretty much. That's that. Yeah, every company I film at.
Well, these 2 guys are behemoths.
Right.
They really are, and they both have some time under their belt, and I like now, you know, Frosty tries so hard to play by the rules when you know, when he wants to.
Right.
But Mooch really knows how to push buttons. Mm-hmm. And from what I'm seeing in this little bit so far, he's pushing some buttons. He's trying by, like when he gave him that reverse elbow in the face. You know?
He wants to turn this into a fight. And
yeah,
you
he
can
does.
definitely tell. Can't pick him up.
Block that suplex.
Mm-hmm.
Get
No,
him.
it's definitely a testament to a wrestler if that person's getting booked on multiple shows,
Yeah.
week in, week out, you know, for different companies.
Yeah, you can catch Ryan Frost at virtually just like a half a dozen promotions just here in the state of Connecticut, probably.
Right.
I mean, he's a busy character. He really is. And Mooch is I don't, as much as I love watching Mooch wrestle, I don't get to see him enough,
Right.
you know, and I think it's because Mooch he likes to pick and choose, you know what I'm saying? He wants to make sure that he's a happy player when he's beating somebody up.
Picking and choosing. Yeah, I don't see Mooch too many other places besides PPW. But, like you said, maybe he just picks and chooses. You go back in to stop the count real quick, and then you can go back out there and
Right,
pull it up
right.
a little bit more.
That cameraman's going to end up in the ring if he doesn't stay out of the way. Look, and see now, Frosty has that's what a nice guy he is. He's in the middle of you know, beating on Mooch and getting beat on by Mooch, and he gives this kid the high five or whatever when he walked over towards the rail.
Good repertoire with the fans,
Yeah. Well, that
as opposed to Mooch.
as,
who doesn't.
as opposed to Mooch. There he goes, breaking the count again.
Yep.
Back. Oh.
Somebody's bottle of
Yeah,
water.
Somebody just paid $1.50 to get Mooch hit across the forehead. All right.
These guys
now.
want to keep this outside of the ring and not inside of the ring. Happens quite a bit.
Okay, looks like the action is back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, caught him with a knee, right? Dragged that knee across his face. Oh,
Right.
double stomp
He
across
probably
the
felt
face.
that the next morning.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Probably had like boot burns on his feet. Across his face.
And he wouldn't have it any other way.
No, he wouldn't.
You
No,
know?
because like you were saying about testaments, you know, their bumps and their bruises, those are their,
Right.
you know, those are their testament to what it is that they do. And I really wished I had saw this match though myself up close, and
They ought to give you a monitor back there at least.
yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Right,
It would be
right.
nice.
Because when they come back from the unit for the potato, you don't know whether they've won or lost or not.
But then, you know what? I kind of like that because it keeps me wondering, and I get excited when they come over, you know. And whichever of these two gentlemen walk back with the belt, you know, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Yep, and there's
There we
poor
go.
Ref Major.
Ref Major
Working-
is-
okay, now Mooch is on the top rope. He loves it up there. He, you know. Oof. That frog splash didn't work out in his favor at all.
Not quite.
All right, Frosty's catching his breath here. Now would be the time to, yeah, there you go. Roll him over. Don't waste too much time. Oh, he kicked out. These gentlemen are getting tired. You know, a match really only lasts somewhere between, maybe 6 and, I don't know, 15 minutes tops. Or
Right, yeah.
If that, you know, if you're lucky to see a 15-minute. But they're constantly moving in that ring and doing stuff like this. There, nice, could we call that a sidewalk slam?
Yeah. Frosty's getting a little frustrated.
Yeah,
there,
he's frustrated now.
Right. He just wants to end this.
Mooch is breathing heavy, so these guys are getting. All right, that's it. He pulled down the straps on his singlet there. I think he's ready to. Oh, that was inches away from being a low blow, wasn't it?
Well, that's
Is this
it.
going to be a power? He's going to slam him down. What's he going?
Who's this on the?
I think that's Sarge. I don't know him personally. I believe. I can't tell. I can't see him. First of all. Well, whoever he is, he doesn't need to be up on that apron.
No. He needs to be out of there. They're telling me about 30 seconds left, and then we're going to
Oh, sweep
get to
that
your
leg.
interview.
Oh, wait a minute. What's he? No.
Now, what did he just do?
It looked like the whoever that gentleman is that was on the apron. It looked like he pulled.
He handed something to him?
Champion, the Devil's Mercenary.
Back to us. What was that all about?
I couldn't really catch what he did, but he reached inside the ring, and it looked almost like it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch that again.
We have to watch that again, you know.
Not now, of course,
Right.
but I mean, I am gonna have to. I'm gonna have to, check out your Facebook page.
Of course.
People, check out Jason's Facebook page. He's got,
The Squared Circle.
on his Squared Circle Facebook page. He's got
It's a group page.
all the matches are on there. And if you couldn't see it there, maybe you could see it on your tablet or your phone or your laptop or something like that.
Right,
So,
it's
check that out.
Squared Circle, you type in the Squared Circle and you ask to join the group, and I'll accept you. And also, the YouTube is a Squared Circle CT.
Did you hear that? Squared Circle CT
Right,
on YouTube.
on YouTube, to distinguish ourselves from other squared circles that might be across the country or wherever else. So you're getting whatever we're showing here, and then some. You're seeing everywhere I go. I film every match, just about every match. I edit and put it up. I don't usually show the whole match because I want to give you a tease.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I want you to say to yourself,
and
this
also,
looks interesting.
with the Pro Wrestling Wire, you can, if you go on ProWrestlingWire.com, there's also Pro Wrestle Zone, which is the name that it used to be before Rick Del Santo and I, formed an
An alliance.
business partnership.
Partnership, right.
Right. He used to be a contributor to Pro Wrestle Zone, and then the name changed to Pro Wrestle Wire, and him and I took it over, and here we are, and now we're doing stuff with you, and and we also have a Facebook page, and I don't know if you have a personal page that you use, put any wrestling on. I do. My actual name is Eric Smith, and that's what my Facebook page is under.
And then Uncle Otis
Uncle Otis is, you could find me as Uncle Otis or Uncle Otis on Instagram, X, which is formerly Twitter, Threads, Reddit, Quora,
YouTube.
TikTok,
Right.
YouTube. I have over 100 videos. So
The library increases.
yeah, it does, and it will continue to increase for both of us.
It will.
Because we're not going to stop anytime soon.
Exactly.
We're on a mission.
We're on a mission.
So
Let's. We have your potato interview already
Oh.
with Ryan Frost, I believe.
yeah, quick potato interview with Ryan
So
after the match.
give you an example as to what these potatoes are. Yeah, here we go.
Hey folks, Uncle Otis here with ProWrestlingWire.com. I'm at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling's event, Bash at the Brewery 7. And I'm with Ryan Frost, who is the former United States champion. And he's fresh off the heels of his match against Mooch.
Yeah, funny thing you call this guy Mooch. That's his name, right? I believe the definition of mooch as a verb is to ask for or obtain something you did not earn. And the noun is what mooch is. He did not earn that title shot, and then he did not earn the title that he stole from me. Listen, if he beat me, middle of the ring, man to man, I'd shake his hand. I'd say thank you. and I would honor his reign going forward. But right now, with someone else involved, holding my foot, kicking me below the belt, in my estimation, Mooch, you are not United States champion until you can beat me. When I beat Troy Stevens for that championship, we had several matches. We decided it with a Stairway to Hell match, and I won, and he shook my hand afterwards. Mooch, prove that you can beat me, and I will shake your hand and call you champ.
Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate it. Folks, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Ryan Frost is not very happy about the way this match ended. Hopefully he'll get another shot to get that title back at some point. Until then, stay tuned to ProWrestlingWire.com. On YouTube, Facebook, wherever there's social media. Back to you in the studio.
And we're back. That just gives you a small example of what a potato interview is
Who
all
was
about.
that? That fat guy with that little hat? Stealing my look. Yeah, I felt really bad for Frosty that night, but I also felt good for Mooch because, you know, he really wanted to win that belt. And I did have a exit interview, and I apologize that I lost some of my stuff in transition of trying to bring it here. But you know, maybe we'll get some others on sometime in the future. But so
Absolutely.
as far as PAPW, I think that's the two things that we had, those two
Yeah,
matches. But
that's the only two things we have
for Paradise Alley.
on here for Paradise Alley for this episode of the Square
Right,
Circle.
right.
But that full event that took place on July 13th, if you go to the Squared Circle CT,
There you
all
go.
those matches, all edited except for that women's match, which we showed it in its entirety, are up there for you to view on YouTube, Squared Circle CT, in addition to many other organizations that I've been in, you know.
Yes,
where-
Jason
yeah.
goes to a lot of and this is what's nice because you go to a lot of different shows than I do,
Right.
and so this is what makes this you know collaboration of working together here and there a little bit more exciting because I get to see some stuff that you got to go see, you know, and not just to be able, like, I go on your Squared Circle
Right.
site on Facebook and I'll watch the matches because you're always right at the top of my feed, you know. And but it's nice to be able to sit here and to talk about them and to, you know, get your point of view from it as opposed to just what I'm seeing, because a lot of times I can't make or differentiate what's
Right.
happening, and it's nice to hear from you what's happening with that. And as a matter of fact, you've got something that I'm excited to see from a promotion that I have never been to.
Never been to.
Never been
But
to.
I've been dealing with them for years.
That's what
Probably
makes it so cool.
since we're going back 2015, I believe, which is almost 9 years.
Yeah.
And
They're still going strong.
and they're still going strong. And they started out small, and now they're real. You know, I don't know. They might almost be ready to, you know, put on maybe a small arena show. It might be possible that they might be able to fill it. But I'm talking about Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling,
I'm excited about this one
which
coming
they
up.
run out of Enfield, Connecticut at the, we nickname it the Pierogi Palace, but it's called the Old Country Banquet Facility, which is on Alden Avenue in Enfield. You have to walk up a huge flight of stairs. Probably there's about 20 or 30 of these long stairs you have to walk up. But once you get up there, and you wonder how they got the ring up there to begin with.
I've seen them put rings together, and it's quite a task. So I can't imagine up, you know, a
Yeah.
flight of stairs.
Right. It's they've been operating out of there. They used to run out of a place called Mount Carmel Park, which was outdoors, but they don't really use that too much anymore. They used to run out of a place called Whirly Ball, which is out of business. But now it's a wedding facility in Enfield, off the main drag.
I will get to one of these matches with you at one point or another. And,
Right.
and that's another thing that we have to stress the point of is that people almost every weekend somewhere in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. I mean, we're talking
Even New York, New Jersey.
York,
right.
yep, Long Island. I mean, there's matches or events because there is so much. The industry is really quite flooded with independent wrestling, but it's kind of a good thing because it gives you the opportunity, no matter where you live, that within an hour you could be at a show. Mm-hmm. And the average show is anywhere from $15 to $25 or so. And I mean, there's not a better way.
It's a cheap night out.
It really is. It really is.
I mean, going to a WWE event is exciting. Don't get me wrong, and so is going to an AEW event. And I've been to both.
I don't have money for that myself.
Right, but they are exciting. But this is a lot cheaper, and what's good about it, it's more interactive. They have an intermission, and there's tables set up, and the wrestlers come out, and they try peddling their merchandise. And
It's intimate. It's
Even
a
if you
little-
don't want to buy any of their merch, you still get the chance to talk to them for a few minutes.
Yeah, and they don't mind if you say, "Hey, can I take a selfie with you?" You know, that
Right.
kind of thing. I mean, it's like it's just more intimate. It's you know, I mean, where else can you go and have a good time? You know, let's say you grab a meal, you know, before or after. So it's a night out, you and your spouse or your significant other. A lot of people bring their kids, as you saw in the right at the brewery show.
Right,
Even though it was at a
absolutely.
brewery, there was plenty of kids in the audience. You know, because a lot of times it can be, you know, family friendly. You know, you just have to just kind of look.
Right.
And that's what we're here for, is to help look for you and give you the information that, you know, you might need as far as where, when, and how.
Absolutely.
So-
So we could get to this. This is there. If it's already in the back with the Blitzkrieg ready to go. All right. The first thing I want to stress is Blitzkrieg. All their content. Nothing that I produced, but they have their own announce team and their own video cameras in addition to me using my little camera. All their cards shows are available on an app called IWTV, Independent Wrestling TV, which is a subscription. You sign up for a username, password, all that.
But then you can access everything of theirs, correct?
You can access everything of theirs, and there's also independent organizations from all around the country and even other different countries in the world. And their content usually within 24 hours after their events taking place is available.
Oh, so it's all nice and fresh.
It's all nice and fresh. So
Great. Well,
let's get to it. I don't have very much of this. This is the main event. The Bedlam Championship is the name of their main title.
I love it.
Here it's the gentleman on the right is T.J. Crawford. He is the current champion. Unfortunately, I don't get to as many Blitzkrieg matches as I used to. That guy's name is Jay George.
The guy with the chair?
The guy with the chair. Jay George has been around the Blitzkrieg block quite a bit over the last 9 years.
I didn't catch, but what happened to the ref? I see he's taking a nap. over
Referee
by the road.
that's referee Bill Thompson.
Is it really?
That's Bill Thompson, who's one of the most sought after
Yes.
referees.
We love Bill.
He used to be a contributor here on the Squared Circle. We miss him very much in that capacity, but we know he's here with us in spirit. I'm going to be honest, I do not know who that was, but
Who jumped up and threw the
who
chair?
jumped up and threw the chair.
It, you know what? I see why it's called Bedlam.
It's
Title.
complete bedlam. The guy there, TJ Crawford, is defending his Bedlam championship against his CPA, Certified Public Accountant.
Oh, really?
Right.
What do you do? Mess up on his taxes? What?
He's very popular with the fans. And although I haven't really been following Blitzkrieg around very much, unfortunately due to my schedule, he's worked himself up to a championship match. He's very, very popular with the fans, and he loves to fight, even though he's sort of in a don't mess with his tie, whatever you do.
Oh no!
No.
It looks like somebody stole his tie though on this one.
This one's somebody stole his tie.
And is that Bill still laying over there
Bill's
now?
still laying over there. Now TJ's managed to get himself knocked to the ground. I have the ending of this match. What happened at the end of this match, I went Facebook Live with that night. That was pretty shocking. You have to go to my Facebook
Yeah,
Live.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Right.
Oh, that was nice.
Now Bill's awake.
Oh,
Near fall. But I think I panned around to the crowd a couple times, not on this match, but with my Facebook Live, and this is the biggest crowd I've ever seen for an independent, for one of their shows.
Yeah.
And probably any independent show that I've been to. There were several hundred people there, I'd have to say. So that's, they're very popular. You have to definitely check out one of their next events, if you could.
yeah, I definitely want to check one of their events out. I don't see that on my list here that they have anything yet as of.
They have one coming up on September 13th, Friday
Okay,
the 13th.
yeah, I think all the ones I have listed are for August only.
Right.
Oh! Sort of a DDT off of that top turnbuckle. That could not have felt good.
That champion's getting tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about him, but I hear good things.
He looks like he's about to climb that corner. Is he going to do a frog splash or something? I don't know. The CPA doesn't look like he's... Maybe, well, now that he's kind of in a squat position or something,
Right.
maybe...
Look at that.
Oh, he's got a tie underneath.
And he's got more than one
Oh,
shirt on.
that's funny.
Yeah, you can check him out. just Google him,
gonna-
YouTube him.
Okay, that was a failed attempt at a suplex off the top. A superplex, I guess you'd say. What's he gonna do here?
I think we're getting towards the end of it, but
Oh, all right, he's messing with that tie. It's
Yeah.
a clip-on? Oh,
whatever it is, you don't mess with it.
Yeah, but now I've lost respect. Oh! I'm not really sure. I guess that was like a takeover type power bomb there.
And that's
he
the end
got
of
him,
that.
And he caught him.
Yeah, you can't see the crowd. See, I did pan around.
That is a nice crowd.
It's a huge
Good.
crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very, very proud of them as a company to be able to get that many people to come out. It sends a tear to my eye.
So the CPA took that title.
Oh yeah, and something very interesting happens. I went Facebook Live with it, but I encourage you to go to IWTV. If you don't have the app, get it and click on it. This is the Blitzkrieg Luau 2024. Their 7th annual luau, like a Hawaiian party. Somebody showed up there that I had the pleasure of interviewing back in 2015. that up until 24 hours before that event on June 29th, he still worked for the WWE.
Really?
Right.
That's cool.
He came out at the end of that, and they had CPA up with. He had the belt, new champion, and all that.
Just don't give anything away.
Right. And this person came from behind CPA and explained that he's
Gave him
back.
some grief.
Explained that he's back in Blitzkrieg.
Okay. Folks, you got to check that out. You check it out. And just, do you have that part of the match on your site as well, on your Facebook site?
I do have it Facebook Live. So if you go to my Facebook, Jason M. Williams, I also believe it's on the Square Circle Facebook page as well.
Yeah, you got to
I
check
shared
that
it to
out,
that,
people.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know we've been actually going to a lot of different shows. Real quick, we don't have anything for me to show you, but I did end up going to the Kineticon, and they do Tetsu's sister company, cosplay,
Okay.
professional wrestling. It was fantastic. It was I worked the entire day popping pictures and video clips. And basically what it is the wrestlers dress up as their favorite characters. I mean, there was Spider-Man, there was Captain Jack Sparrow, there was Black Canary, there was Krillin, and a lot of anime characters and stuff. And it was just a very different experience for me. And they put on several shows. I was there on the Friday, which was, I think, the 19th. But they do the whole weekend. They did like 2 shows on Friday, 3 shows on Saturday, and then another 2 shows, I think it was on Sunday. And so that was really cool. And of course, all the merchandise in the world that I couldn't afford.
I'm told we have less than 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do with that, Legacy is Timeless, I'm going to start, if you go to my YouTube channel this evening and my Facebook, I'm going to start posting some of those matches tonight since it was yesterday. We'll get it nice and fresh up there for you.
Good.
But you have some stills?
Just a few stills. Real quick, was the New England Taco Festival in Guilford, in my hometown. And they, the ECPW, which is the East Coast Professional Wrestling, run by Gino Caruso, he put on a fantastic show. Actually, here's some quick stills from it. We're going to blow through them, so I'm not going to elaborate on them or anything. But, folks, if you get to see an outdoor event like this from ECPW, check it out. The thing that's really cool is most people that go to these kind of shows, they're there for the Taco Festival, so they're not really there to see wrestling.
Right.
But they become intrigued to sit down and check it out. And because it's more of a different kind of crowd and not a wrestling crowd, what they end up doing is they try and make it a little bit more fun for the crowd. And it was a fantastic show. And they ended up putting on, it was supposed to be 2 shows on Saturday, and they did 4 shows on Saturday. And then they did an extra show or 2, I think an extra show on Friday evening. I can't really remember, but they did extra shows because they really had a great turnout around the ring. People sat around, ate their tacos, and heckled the wrestlers to death, and it was a great time.
ECPW, they're out of New Jersey. They're
right, and so it was a lot of wrestlers I've never seen before, which was exciting for me because I got to cover something a little different. But if you go to my Facebook page or any of those social media sites I mentioned earlier, I set my first set of posts this morning. I did one of the matches, and when I post pictures, it's usually anywhere from 20 to 45, 50 pictures of one match. So you can see a lot of different stuff. And we were lucky enough to be able to show a few today. So.
Absolutely. We have some graphics, I believe, for upcoming events as well.
Yes, a lot going on.
We do.
Though we do have graphics for a few of the items. Here we go.
Speaking of Blitzkrieg,
yes,
on Friday the 13th, September the 13th, It's Wrestle Rock Rager.
I want to go to that one with you really
Right.
badly.
That's not going to be in Enfield, though. That's going to be, it's 109 Appermont Way, Westfield, Massachusetts, at Bright Ideas Brewery.
And folks, from here, Westfield is only about an hour and 20 minutes away, right? Because
Not
it's
that bad.
just past Springfield.
I also have a very long tenure with
Yes, you do.
a
Pioneer
company
Valley.
called Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling, as they present Closing Time, Sunday, August 18th, with a 4 p.m. bell at Pulaski Hall in East Hampton, Massachusetts.
Now, is that Brian Gosling? Is that his
Ryan Gosling.
name? On the right?
You can
With
see
the
him
glasses?
on the right. Yeah,
And I
look-
see Sammy Diaz.
Sammy
So it looks like
Diaz, Hammer
it's
Tunis,
Hammer
of course.
Tunis. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's going to be a good one.
They have quite a roster here.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears are sort of a new company that based now out of Hamden, Connecticut. We've had their
That's where I first met you.
absolutely,
And
yep.
that, folks, is a venue and a half. What a
Absolutely.
beautiful venue that they have there.
Right.
It's every seat is a beautiful seat, and they set up merchandise from here to St. Swithin's Day.
Absolutely. Yep, Mets Mega Clash. That is September 20th at Devonshire Hall, 109 Sanford Street. We've had Cece, who's involved with
She's
BST.
amazing.
She is amazing.
She puts on a great show.
Absolutely. She's a genius.
There's my boy Mooch. Now, this real quick, I'll make this real fast.
I don't know anything about this Connecticut Extreme
Okay,
Wrestling.
well,
so
Connecticut Extreme Wrestling, it used to be OWF, the Outlaw Wrestling Federation, who used to go wrestle out of Bristol. And there was no hard feelings or anything, but the two people that ran that, Cindy Hart and, Cindy Hart and Lou Kimbrell ran that with Shea Slater.
Okay.
And they decided to split off and venture on their own. And Shea Slater stayed in Bristol, and he changed the name to Connecticut Extreme Wrestling. And usually he does some shows out of Legend Sports Bar in Bristol, which is a really nice place. And then Cindy and Lou ended up starting Outcast Wrestling Revolution. So it's OWR. They're in the process. They've got their ring and stuff, but they're in the process of obtaining a venue.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just rumored, but to say that they might be moving somewhere near Groton with that, which would be
Okay.
fantastic because there's
they
nothing.
don't
out
have
there.
anything in that area.
There's
right.
nothing in that
I don't
area,
think there's
so-
anything until you hit Rhode Island.
Exactly.
Right.
So
But this is Test of Strength. I've been
Strength is
covering them
fantastic.
a little bit on and off over the past year.
now it says Dudleytown Brewing. I've been to a Test of Strength, but
Right.
not at Dudleytown Brewing. So that would be a new one for me if I get to make it to that one.
Yes, that's August 9th.
Yep, that's what it
Windsor,
says.
Connecticut, House Rules 4. They always put on a great show, too.
And here we go now. This one here, Wrestling is Now, WIN, and it says Friday, August 2nd, locked in, and I see,
Bronx Brewery Backyard, Bronx, New York.
so that ought to be something. I've never been to a Win show,
No,
not as of yet.
not as of yet.
But it's on our list. It's on our
Yeah,
list.
hey, you know what?
There's so much going on. It's really difficult to get to. Oh, I just wish that I was a triplet or something. Then I could.
I always wanted to get in the New York area, too, but now that you're around, you never know.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, Rick and I have been talking about trying to travel towards Rhode Island and check out. There's some promotions in Rhode Island, and Rick and I are usually like Siamese twins. We
Right.
we go together. Rick handles a lot. Usually he's doing commentary for something for New Age Wrestling. He'll do commentary, and I'm gonna get to do some potatoes up there coming up next month.
I think
And,
this merger is the best for all of us.
And by the way, as a matter of fact, the next Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Bash at the Brewery 8 will be August 10th.
Right.
It was scheduled for the 3rd, but they had to move it up. So it's going to be the 10th. Folks, you got to get to this one. We don't have a match card for that yet because they're still putting
Right.
things together. But it's coming up fast, and they're working on it quickly.
Definitely. We got to wrap it up right now, though.
Okay.
But
I've had a blast.
good night. Good luck. Check out Pro Wrestling Wire and Square Circle. Like
Yep.
you bet. See you next time.
Look us up.
Look us up.